What's going on, guys? I'm here with one of our clients, Tori, who just closed a 45K deal. What's going on, Tori? How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I guess for anybody who maybe doesn't know you, do you mind just giving us a little bit of backstory on kind of yourself, how you got started, and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been a photographer for the last 14 years, and the last 3.5, 4 years, I've been branding specifically.
Okay.
I only entered video into my offerings last year, and I like tripled my year. This year, I knew I had seen you guys the end of last year, and I like took a beat. But this year, I knew it was time to kind of up level to really develop this production company, and it is already paying off.
So you've already tripled this year over last year
So
from,
last year, adding video
okay,
tripled my branding business.
that's wild.
But it's March and I've already made half of my last year.
That's
So
crazy.
it's gonna be a killer year.
I love it. And what was kind of the biggest, because I know we're literally only 2 weeks into the program right now. I guess what's been kind of what was the biggest problem prior to joining? What were some of the things you were struggling with?
I think my offer, and I think there was an element of confidence behind it, right? I'm still relatively new to the game, but you guys right off the bat were like, no, you're solid, like, and then worked with me through, you didn't try and change what I was already doing. You really did a great job of taking what I was strong at and helping me develop that into packages. And the tweaks that you made, once you did it, I was like, they were like no tweaks. Like just the tweaks you made were worth the investment. And it's why I sold that client. So
Yeah.
we had our meeting. I made that adjustment to the packet or to
What,
the
just for
packet.
everyone who's maybe doesn't know, what are some of the adjustments we made with you?
The way I structure it. So prior to working with you, my longest package for video was like a 3 month type thing. And for social media, running social media, it was 3 months. And I had like a year-long branding package, but I was kind of phasing that out. So you guys specifically showed me opportunities to how to structure it to push them into a 12-month commitment instead of a 3 month, and like how to build that. I don't want to give it all away.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can keep it.
But it really, as soon as I set it up the first time, I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
it makes so much sense.
Well, I always say it's like it's the small hinges that swing the big doors. And it's like I think
Absolutely.
sometimes people come in and they're like thinking we're gonna overhaul everything. And sometimes we will, but for the most part, we're just making these little tweaks that result in like these big changes in the business. And obviously that was one of them. And I'm excited for more as we continue to help you scale here.
Yeah, the fact that this happened without even running ads yet.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just reactivation. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it wasn't even React. It was a brand new person that
Oh,
I
it
was just
was.
like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it was literally just I had a solid offer. I knew how to sell it, and just the conversation is what did it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And kind of a weird question, but I guess like why did you maybe choose this program over some other programs? Maybe I was just annoying you in your feed too much. Like, I guess what were some of the things that
That
went into that?
helped.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, your reviews speak for themselves. The fact that people are having the results that they're having. For me, I wanted to make sure the only reason I didn't join back in October was I was unsure of my own skill in videography. But I knew once I was ready that you guys were the ones to go with. And don't get me wrong, I looked at a lot of them, but there's just so much that you offer. It's not just the helping me develop these offers. Like, I'm going to learn how to run ads for my clients by doing this process with you. So it was all I needed was one client to book one client to make the investment worth it. And I thought to myself, like, am I really going to come out of this with 0 clients? And I was like, there's no chance. So right then, like, it was worth it.
Yeah. And I think a big problem for a lot of videographers, video agency owners is like not knowing how to get their clients results. And that's where the ads come in and understanding how to do that. And it's like we're not just creating content for them, we're helping them implement that into a strategy for their business as well and actually get them tangible results so they stay with you and continue to pay you over and over and over again, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, the other thing that was really great that your team helped me with was like you're allowed to have expectations on the client too. I
Yep.
feel like as business owners, we always think it's on us. And I think that's why we're reluctant to guarantee something. But when you're like, no, you have to be doing X, Y, and Z
Yep.
for me to guarantee it, I was like, oh, well, then that's no problem.
Well, and you make the rules too. It's your business at the end of the day,
Mhm.
and you can choose who you want to work with. And I think sometimes people think, like you said, you have to bow down to the client and be like, well, we're doing everything they want. It's like, no, you can put boundaries in place and say, this is what we're expecting from you as well.
Yeah.
And I guess like what Has there been anything besides the tweaking of the packages, anything we've done that you feel like is helpful? I know we're still going through it, so you're pretty new, but anything else besides that that you feel like might have been super helpful for you up to this point?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. One is you guys are having me do these calls with people, these calls actually,
Yep.
with people. And so hearing the feedback from the clients is sometimes a little different than what I was expecting them to say. So
Mm.
what I've been out there marketing myself as is great, but then hearing their feedback has given me ideas for, oh, I should be talking more about that because that is a huge benefit. So that process, and I'm going to get amazing video testimonials from clients, which I hadn't even thought about. So that's one. But also just the way you guys run everything, how organized everything is. I can go at my pace, but one of the things I love that you do is before we get off every call is you schedule my next call.
Yep.
You are not letting me fall through the cracks. I've been in many programs. I'm kind of a coaching junkie, and
And I'm OCD, as you can tell by the
yeah, but I appreciate it.
yeah.
And so many times in group programs or self-led programs, I've kind of fallen off after a few weeks, but I see that that's like impossible in this program because you guys are so on top of keeping us engaged. And even if it's been a couple days, somebody's in my Slack like, "Hey, checking in on what is this
Yep.
next step I'm supposed to be working on."
For sure. I love that. Oh, I appreciate that. And I guess like where do you feel like you might have been if you hadn't maybe taken the leap? Because it's scary for a lot of people to make a jump, make an investment in themselves. I guess like where do you feel like you might have been if you hadn't done that and taken the leap?
I think I'd still be selling the same one-off packages. I think you guys really opened my eyes to being able to do these recurring or these longer term.
And last question, I guess if anybody's maybe watching this and maybe they're on the fence about even just booking a call with us, I guess like what advice would you give them kind of knowing what you know now?
I mean, if I knew then how fast it was going to happen, I would have done it back then. I do it. Don't waste the time. Don't wait. Don't debate. Like, how many more reviews do you need to see that are out of this world? Like, it's just, if everybody's getting the result, there's a reason.
For sure. Well, I appreciate your time, Tori. We'll do another one of these when you're at 100K a month. Let's keep scaling and appreciate it.
Thanks.